Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Soul Chat. Today, let's talk about attraction. So, attraction is a fundamental thing of human life. As we all know, as humans, we are attracted to the opposite genders. So, let's talk about why we are attracted, why God has given us this gift of attraction, and where it should lead us into. To help us understand more about attraction, we have Jacob with us. Welcome, Jacob, to the show.
Thank you, Bince.
Okay, I think we can get started with the very fundamental question, which is what is attraction and why we are attracted?
Right. It's a nice topic that you've chosen for this episode.
Yeah.
Because as human beings, attraction is very common to all of us. All of us are attracted. Primarily, we are attracted to God. We are attracted to others, especially the opposite gender. This attraction is actually, we are attracted because we are created in the image and likeness of God. So attraction is a gift that God has given us.
Yeah.
Now, what is attraction? I think attraction is when the other person has a value that appeals to us, that impresses us. That's when we are attracted to that person, And that attraction is an essential component of relationship. We can see, to understand, to unpack attraction, I think we should, like in the last episode, we went back to the Trinity. Because we are created in the image and likeness of God, we always need to go back and understand what's the dynamics going on within the Trinity. If you remember, Father and the Son, they love, and their love is the Holy Spirit. So we understand wherever there is love, when there is love, we are also attracted. That attraction is a result of love.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
Oftentimes we think love is a result of attraction.
Yeah.
Not necessarily, because we can love what we don't like also.
Yeah.
Right? So, but then when we start loving, that person's value in our heart becomes so valuable, then he becomes attractive to us because we truly explore that person. So attraction in us is actually because we have within us this capacity to become a gift to the other person. So we are attracted to the opposite gender because there's a call within us to become one or to become a gift to that person in marriage.
Yeah.
But then this attraction does not wait for the marriage. Once you reach puberty, that's about 13, 14, you have attractions already.
Yeah.
That's why, school, you can see 8th standard, 9th standard, that's when everything changes. They suddenly, they see suddenly the boys in the class are suddenly more handsome. the girls are more beautiful. So there is that change, there's a lot of changes that's happening within the body and the hormonal changes, the whole thing is we are getting ready to become fathers and mothers in one way.
Yeah.
Right. So attraction is a gift of God that is given to us so that we can become a gift in marriage. Right.
Yeah.
And why is attraction? Again.
Yeah.
Now, if we don't have attraction, just imagine there's no relationship.
We will remain in our own comfort.
We can only remain, very, lonely lives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's an invitation for us to become a self-gift to the other person.
Yes.
In love.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here what we should understand is that then the question is, then why don't you can ask God, why don't you give me attraction only the day before my marriage, so that I'm attracted to the right person, or when I'm attracted not to anybody else or everybody else, but only to that person. But that's not how it is. That as soon as you hit, say,
Your
13,
puberty
14,
is- yeah.
there are so many people you're attracted to. You know, in a classroom, you're attracted to somebody. You walk out, there's somebody. You walk into a supermarket, there's somebody very impressive. You're attracted to that person. Maybe you get back home, there's somebody, your neighbor is attractive. So attraction is not
Yeah.
love.
And we should also understand that, even if you're married, you're still attracted to another person. It can happen, right?
Exactly. So,
So
that is
now-
why we need to distinguish
Yeah.
love and attraction.
Also, there is another fundamental question, how are we going to deal with these attractions
Yeah.
in my life? So most of the time, when this puberty hits, people don't know how to deal with this attraction.
Right.
And they may mostly portray it as love, as we can see in the movies, in the media.
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
See, like everywhere, the whole world portrays attraction as love.
Love.
They're not able to distinguish between love and attraction. For them, both are the same.
Yeah.
And that's why all of us, unless we have this right knowledge,
Yep.
it's impossible to distinguish between attraction
Okay, so
and love.
since I think to understand it more better,
Yeah.
I think we should look into how John Paul II, divides this attraction in sensual and sentimental. So if you can explain a little bit about that,
Right, I
it'll be
think-
very meaningful here.
Correct. I'm sure this is in Love and Responsibility.
Exactly.
John Paul II talks about two kinds of attractions. Yeah, and both men and women, they are attracted in different ways, to the opposite gender. But
Yeah.
for man, mostly it is a sensual attraction. That means we are attracted to the body,
Yeah.
because human body is beautiful, and especially God has created man, and the bodies of man and woman beautiful. So, and especially we are wired in such a way that we are attracted to the body of woman. So that's what is called a sensual attraction.
Yeah.
Sensual attraction, yes, it is natural to us, but then sensual attraction is not the ultimate attraction, or it is not the end of it. It can
it's a
help
beginning.
us.
It's a starter.
just a beginning.
It's a starter, I would say.
It's a starter, yeah.
Yeah.
But then we can misuse it.
Yeah.
But we'll come to that. But the second kind of attraction is the sentimental attraction. Sentimental attraction, I like the way you speak. I like the way you present yourself, you conduct yourself. I like the way you walk and meet people. And so it's your character is what impresses me. That value,
Yes.
in the first case, it is a sexual value of that person that appeals to me.
Yeah.
In this case, it is the character of the person that appeals to me. These both are attraction. One is sensual, the other is sentimental. But these two are only starters, like you said, John Paul II would say that you shouldn't be falling in love to somebody, or you shouldn't be loving someone for their sexual values, neither for their sexual values nor for their sentimental values, but for who that person is. Now, that is true love. That's authentic love. Now, that means even if you lose your sexual value naturally, as you grow older, you have wrinkles, and then you're no longer, you don't have the curves. And again, even characters, you may not look the same, speak the same, all that can change, but that shouldn't affect.
All this can deteriorate.
And that shouldn't determine love.
Yeah.
Love is my
Decision.
is a decision
It's in the will.
to accept and to understand, respect, and live with this person.
As you are
Right?
today.
Yes, and
And I think we have to take that choice every day.
exactly every moment. I would
Every
say.
moment, basically.
Every moment.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Now, you were also telling, how do we deal with attraction, especially youngsters? Suppose if children of, say, 14, 15, they are in, class 8 and 9, and they are attracted to somebody in the class. How do we, I'm attracted, what do we do? Now, if you're in the world, if you are someone who is in the world will tell you, man, you're in love.
Yeah.
And then the next thing is that your friends will come along and say, well, man, you're in love. And
You should reach out to this person. You should propose this person.
yeah,
A lot
and
of
then
things.
and the next step is to get into a relationship. That means
Yeah.
there's this proposal. Then there's this
I think before
walking
that,
together, going together.
there's one more thing that will happen.
Yeah.
People will try to impress by showing something which they're not usually used to, basically.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So that's what happens. You project your best self.
Yes, exactly.
That is not. It's actually. It's not. May not be your right self. You're just trying to impress.
Yeah.
But you're putting on something that may not be your true self.
True.
But what the other person might end up loving, what you project as yourself, not yourself.
Not yourself.
I mean, that's a tragedy. Just imagine if tomorrow, if you're getting married, you're not the same person I thought you are. I mean, we end up doing all that. But this is because you don't understand what is happening within me. If it is attraction, when I know, so suppose if we educate our children saying that we all have the gift of attraction. We will be attracted to other people, and that's good.
Yeah.
And that's for a reason that we are attracted to other person. Now, next time when you're attracted to somebody, don't think that I have to now, do something about it. I have to chase this person, get this person somehow. I have to possess this person for myself.
Yeah.
That thought is come from our fallenness, actually.
Mm-hmm.
If anything that is beautiful and impressive, I need to possess that. I need to make it mine.
Yeah.
That is not love.
Yeah.
Right? That is selfishness, actually. Now, once you understand that, now because of a fallenness placed in the back of us, what we need to do is now understand. Okay, now there's something. There's some sort of a feeling that is within me. There's emotions growing within me towards that person.
Yeah.
Okay, now how do I deal with that? Now, what I should know is that if I entertain this, if I kind of go with it, it will become an attachment to that person.
Mm-hmm.
It will become a relationship.
Yep.
It will naturally lead to a sexual union, because that is what attraction is oriented to, ultimately.
Yeah.
And then that has to lead to children.
Yes.
That means there has to be a family.
Yeah.
So ultimately, when are you ready to act upon your attraction? It's when you're ready for marriage.
Yes.
But in a school child who is in the 8th standard or 9th standard, just imagine, is that person ready for a child? Not at all.
Not.
Is that person ready to look after another person without the help of anybody, independently? Not at all. So what is the right response then? Right response is, okay, thank you, Lord, for this gift of attraction.
Yeah.
It just shows that I have this capacity within me to become a gift to somebody tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm already getting ready.
Yeah.
Thank God for that.
Yeah.
And thank God that I'm a woman. And thank God that I'm a man. I have this capacity within me. But then I know that I'm not ready to begin a relationship now. I have to wait now. I have to focus on my studies so that tomorrow I become capable of looking after that person, and also a family, a growing family, a child, 2 child, 3 children, So then my right response should be thanking God for the gift of that person, because he has a value that appeals to me.
Yes.
Thank God for creating that person so beautiful.
Yeah.
That's the right one. That's the first one.
Yeah.
Secondly, I thank God for my own gifts, that I can become a gift to somebody.
Yeah.
And then I have that God-like capacity within me to love.
Yeah.
Another reason to thank God.
Yeah.
And then thirdly, you can have a healthy relationship with that person. Yes. Healthy in sense, it is not one that wants to exclusively own that person to myself. No. One that wills the good of the other person. That means I will help him in any way.
Yes.
There are so many good in me that I can share with him.
Yeah.
You understand? So then it'll lead to a very healthy relationship, which is not an erotic relationship, but it is more like a philia, a brotherly, sisterly relationship. I think that is what we should, that is how we should deal with attraction until we are ready to commit our lives to marriage.
Yeah, that's pretty true. Now, I
Yeah.
think we should also talk about from the perspective of a college, students.
Right.
We can see movies also portrays college
Right.
romance.
Yeah.
So
Romance.
people are being misunderstood with this romanticism, right?
Right.
In the campuses.
Correct.
So most of the time in movies we can see
Right.
one guy seeing a beautiful woman,
Yeah.
and then he just like possessed by her beauty, and he thinks I'm in love. And
Right.
I have to do everything to
Impress that
her, to make her my own.
Yeah.
And I'm ready to do anything basically.
Right.
That's what usually happens.
Yeah. Right.
And this is being portrayed in the movies.
Yeah.
And as today, most of the people, they will also try to do the same. They will
Yeah.
try to just do the same thing. How to get this person. Now that is where I think we should talk a little bit about how we're going to deal with this attraction which is happening in the campuses, especially how I can have a healthy relationship with my my own
Right.
friendship
Yeah.
with my to the person I'm being attracted basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. There's one question that you can ask yourself.
Yeah.
Is my friendship a real friendship, or is it going beyond the boundaries?
Yeah.
Is it becoming like one in the one?
What
in-
am I seeking out of this
Yeah.
friendship?
Or does it have a marriage kind of a sexual kind of a nature to that?
Yeah.
The first thing that you can do is, you can see if suppose I'm attracted to the other person, and if that other person has many other, say, male friends,
Yeah.
and when they interact with when this person interacts with other male friends, if I feel really bugged by that, then that means I want her exclusively for me.
Yeah.
I don't want her to speak to anyone else, or I don't want her to have any kind of relationship with anybody else. Then there's a problem.
Yeah.
A true friendship would want her to have good friends around her.
Yes.
And I'll be one of them.
Yep.
And they can contribute in a way that I cannot. So I'll be open to that.
Yeah.
But if my intention is not friendship, but something different,
Yeah.
then I'll be very bugged. You understand?
Yeah.
So you can ask that question.
I mean, we can see in the movies, right? This person, always runs behind this person, and do not even allowing this person to do something. Basically,
Yeah.
captures the freedom of this other person.
Exactly. You become very controlling.
Very controlling.
You control everything.
There is no
you
freedom.
should not speak to that person.
Yeah.
You should do
You
this.
should not do this. You should always call me. You should spend time with
Exactly,
me.
exactly.
So people
Yeah,
started
yeah.
demanding. On what
Exactly.
basis?
You suddenly become the caretaker kind of a thing.
Caretaker.
You're already like a father figure,
Yeah.
daddy figure for that.
Yeah.
No, that's not love.
That's not love.
Possessiveness.
That's possessiveness.
Yeah. You're actually violating the freedom of that
Yeah.
person. But then nobody realizes these days.
Exactly.
These things, yeah.
That's my next
Yeah,
question. People
right.
don't realize this.
They don't realize
And
this.
most of the time, most of the time, people have to say ace out of this.
Exactly, because they think,
Yeah.
okay, this guy is at least giving me attention.
Putting some effort, basically.
Yeah, he's at least available for me.
Yeah.
He's always thinking of me. So
Yeah.
they think, at least I have that. No, but wait a moment. You don't realize how much your parents love you, how much
Exactly.
your brothers and sisters love you, how much your teachers and everybody, and you're valuable. The problem is we fall into these things because we don't know how much we are loved
Yes.
by God.
My God.
Once you know that you're loved by God, not because of what you have,
Yeah.
not because I am good, not because I am holy, not because I am good looking, not because I have this, I'm an excellent preacher,
Simply
or
because you are the child of God.
simply because you're a child of God.
Yeah.
When I know that,
And that is freely given.
that's free. And once I know that God loves me just the way I am, I can also begin to accept my parents' love.
Yes.
Because then I know, yes, they scold me at times,
Yeah.
they correct me at times, but they love me.
Yes.
And such a person will be in a better position to discern,
Yep.
these kind of attachments. And if somebody is trying to control,
Yeah.
you can say, sorry, boss, let's have a very normal friendship.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm, this is not even time to think about,
True.
a relationship.
Yeah.
Let's focus on studies now.
Yeah.
Because these are very important. I want to give my whole self to studies. Okay, when I am ready to love, I want to give my whole self
Yes.
to loving you.
Yeah.
Okay, and whoever
Yeah.
I will want to give my life to.
Yeah.
But I'll wait for that. So, exactly. So this idea of romanticism. Today, everyone want to romanticize. Now, romanticism is actually there's no deep, there's no sacrifice in that. It's all about entertainment. I have a girl along with me. I have a boy along with me. We eat together, drink together, dance together, party together, and then sometimes
It's
it
a
goes
fascination,
beyond.
right? It's a fascination.
Exactly. They're fascinated with these colors of the world, and then they think this is the right thing to do.
Yeah.
But then what they don't understand is that marriage is a project of a lifetime.
Yes.
It is an important, very important decision, because once you're married for life.
Yes.
Yeah. There's no separation.
There is no change after
It's an
that.
inseparable commitment.
It's an eternal decision.
It is that kind of a big, massive commitment that you take. It's a big project.
Yeah.
So you cannot be casual about it.
Yeah.
I cannot decide whom I'm going to marry in a whim, like, out of an emotion.
Yes.
Suppose you come and impress me, and I'm impressed. If that becomes a decision, I mean, that emotion.
If that becomes a
decisive factor for me, then I'm a fool.
Exactly.
Because suppose if we are, in a party, they might be under the influence of alcohol or whatever it is. Maybe he's performing well.
Yeah.
If my decision is based on that, I'm a fool, because I don't even see that person.
Yes.
I only see what he's projecting to me.
Yeah.
Just imagine having to live a life without knowing that person. So there comes, once you're ready to get married, then there's this concept of discerning the right person. You can say, some say dating, or some say courtship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it is. Could also talk.
Before jumping into the dating, I think we should talk a little bit about the attachment. Which comes as a result of attraction. If you do something about this attraction,
right,
and how this attachment can lead to different issues. Like, let's say we can see a lot of breakup stories.
Right.
We can see people shattered into pieces because of this relationship which is going
right,
wrong.
broken hearts.
Yeah. And then to fix that, they try to jump into another person.
Another relationship.
This is not going to help. They are
Another
in the same iteration.
The cycle.
Basically.
This is a cycle. Yeah.
So attachment, let's talk about this attachment.
Right. I think fundamentally it's because we don't realize that we are loved by God.
Yeah.
That is a primary thing.
That's the primary thing.
Right? Okay. Now, what is attachment? Attachment is, when I'm attracted to something, and if I spend more time with what I'm attracted to, say, that person, and our whole body acts in such a way that it begins to bond with that person. In many ways, chemicals are produced, our body becomes more open, and then the distance between them begins to, become less and less, and finally, the natural direction is to become one.
To become one.
Become one.
Yeah.
So you become attached to that person.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, once you're attached emotionally, physically, mentally, all the realms, you're attached to that person now.
It involves all our senses.
Everything.
Yeah.
Everything. Not only senses, the soul, body, spirit, everything. The whole person is involved in that. That's natural.
Yeah.
I mean, that is what attraction should do. But the problem is we are getting into it without a second thought about a family life, or, it's
it
just
is not in the context of a marriage.
Context of a marriage.
Yeah.
And then suddenly you realize this man has so many characters which I don't like.
Yeah.
And he's not willing to even change.
Yeah.
Okay. And he doesn't care. He says, I just want to have fun.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just have fun. No, that's too late. You're already into a relationship. You're attached to that person. Just imagine the heartbreak you have to go through to unfriend, to unbond, and then begin again.
Yeah.
Now that is foolishness, actually.
This can also lead you into a numerous of other issues, basically.
Many issues. Many issues. You become doubtful about people.
Yeah.
You're thinking whether this person would again do to me like the other person did, and then you have trust issues.
And I think you should also maybe sometimes produce a hate against this person, because of this.
Of course. And you will hate when that guy now walks around with another girl.
Yeah, this can happen.
Yeah.
And sometimes we can see people turn into pornography. Some people will look into other people, try to satisfy this ache to become with one.
Yeah. You can see the same dynamics works with pornography also. You're attracted, you look at it, you spend time, then you're attached to it. And you cannot get out of it.
Yes.
The same thing because of this dopamine,
rush.
all this rush of rush of this, and then you get attracted to it because these are chemicals that help you bond with these things.
Yeah. I think we have talked about attraction and how attraction will lead to attachment. We also talked about the different types of attraction. Now I think we should talk a little bit about the dating. When should somebody start dating? What's the process? Because today's younger generation, they're confused about the whole thing,
Right.
Most of the time I've heard people asking me, can you explain me about Catholic dating? Is there any such thing called Catholic dating?
Catholic dating, but they want dating, so
they want to date.
Catholic version of
they want a Catholic version of it because they're trying to do the best. They want to do it in the right way. And people don't know how they can do it.
Yeah. The misunderstanding is that they think dating is also romancing.
Yeah.
So they're getting an opportunity to romance with somebody, spend some time with somebody in a way that entertains them.
Yeah.
But that's a wrong concept, actually. That should happen within marriage. Within marriage, you have all the time to, actually people don't do that, but it should be within marriage that all these romance should happen. Just go spend time together, movies or wherever you want to go, trip together, drive together, cycle together. All that should happen within marriage, not before marriage.
Yeah.
Now, before marriage, what should happen is the discernment process. Now, what is dating? Dating is the process of discerning or meeting with a person in the context of discerning whether this person is somebody whom I can get married to.
Yeah.
That is the context, nothing else. So when you choose a place to meet, it has to be a place where it's not like a private place where only you and this person is there. Then there is all possibility that they can just use each other.
People can get carried away.
They can get carried away.
Yeah.
Especially do not go to movies together.
Yes.
That's, in the darkness, that's not the right place. And then don't go into secluded place where there's no people. Go into, maybe a restaurant where there are people.
Yeah.
And then go with the knowledge of both the parents. Okay, you can tell your parents, we are going here and we are going to meet here in this place. And then we're meeting at this place, this time, and then we're coming back. So we know that we're spending maybe an hour or a half an hour with this person.
Yeah.
And then over a coffee or something, you start talking with the intention to understand this person. Okay, because you're always now discerning, can I spend my whole life?
Which is a great decision. It's a huge decision.
With this person.
Yeah.
Can I become a gift, my whole self?
Yeah.
Can I become a gift to this person who's sitting in front of me? That should be the question.
Yeah.
Okay. Now in that conversation, I'm sure, one meeting may not be enough because first meeting you both will be tensed and then you want to show only the right thing.
There's also a natural tendency for us to project the best.
The best.
That correct.
Exactly. I think 2-3 meetings and then you should be able to discern and understand. Okay.
So basically, you should reach in a position where you don't need to project yourself. You just be like you.
Just be natural.
Be natural.
Because in marriage you have to be natural. You will be natural. So
you won't be acting.
yeah, this is who I am.
This is not a drama.
Right, and this is who I am.
Yeah.
But certain things, yes, you know, you and I can together work out and to change something. Those are
Yeah.
good decisions. You
Yes.
understand? I have this weakness, but I'll try and change it. And for you, I will do it.
Yes.
You know, because it's worth it. And those are the things that should go on there, and then should progress into marriage. Then it'll progress into a decision to marry.
Yeah.
Then the parents are involved. You know, so again,
That's how we
then
take it
you
forward.
can go into
Yeah.
the engagement, and then the procedures. However, it is.
think-
So that's the right thing.
I think we should also talk about the perspective in which the faith. What do we believe basically?
See, as one thing is very important is that what is the objective of marriage?
Exactly.
Marriage, the objective of marriage is holiness, basically.
It's holiness.
Yeah, is to
Is to become one another, and
the whole family needs to, we need to usher the whole family to heaven.
yes,
Ultimately, that's what it is. Not only your family.
Yes.
Just imagine you have to build a base. Your family. When your family is a solid, faithful
Yeah.
family, your children will grow in faith.
yes,
Children's children, their children, their children. Just imagine the whole generation today. Your decision will decide the future of those generations
Yes.
also. So it's a big decision that you're taking.
yeah,
Understand? So the goal of marriage is holiness. That's the pathway that you're choosing to get to heaven. Not only for yourself, but for the whole family.
again, I just go back to this attachment part. I've seen a lot of people saying, I don't care about this person, what this person believes. I don't care about his faith. All I need is his presence and his, people are driven by emotion. They're not talking about, they're not thinking on the aspect of, what this person is believing,
Right.
what are his
Understand.
standards.
Yeah.
And,
I also get that. Because you're hinting on intercaste marriage.
Exactly. Hinting on intercaste marriage.
The people would come and say, I like that person, but it doesn't matter what he believes in, but he's a good person.
He's a good person.
He's a good person.
He always cares about me, which are all good. I'm not saying
Right.
that is wrong, but ultimately,
Right.
it won't lead you into the right direction, which God is leading you to be.
Right.
So how can we respond there? When a person approaches you and this person is saying to you, "I love this person, but this person is not a Catholic or he's not believing in what I believe."
Right.
So how are you going to respond there?
First of all, I would say, we have a lot of good boys and girls within our community. I mean, there's no way we have any lack of men and women in our community. So it's not that we should somehow marry from other communities.
Yeah.
We don't need to do that. Now, the question is, okay, now you're attracted to that person, and now you want to find a loophole
No, the
to
main
get
problem
married.
here is, people will come back to you and start raising this question only after they become attached to this person.
Exactly.
That's the main problem.
Yeah. So we've already talked about, the caution that
We
you
have to
need
take.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You should also understand that once you're already attached to that person, then you don't have the freedom to say no to that person. That means, see, when you come in front of the altar, when the priest asks you, are you willing
Yes.
to marry this person?
Are you saying this is out of your freedom?
You don't have the freedom to say no. That's why you're saying yes, because you're already attached to that person. You cannot.
Yeah.
But then just imagine if it's a fresh engagement and a fresh relationship, proposal that has come in. You have the freedom to say no to that.
Yeah.
But here you don't have. There might be hundreds of problems and hundreds of things that I don't like in that person, but we are already attached. We already have had maybe
And we
some.
somehow thinks or believes that everything is going to be perfect after marriage.
After marriage.
We also believe that this person is going to satisfy all my thirsts and desires.
That's not going to
for
happen.
a lifetime. That's what happens.
That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So these
After
wrong
marriage.
notions about
Exactly.
an everlasting marital, everlasting romantic life.
Right.
That will
right.
lead us into distraction, I would say.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Right.
I would say marriage is a call to, I think it's the best academy for us to learn love. That's what I'm, understanding
Absolutely.
from my
Absolutely. Absolutely.
it's an academy for us to love. God is actually
Exactly.
molding us to,
Exactly.
telling you this is how you're going to learn love.
Exactly. Two different
Yeah.
persons, two different cultures.
Two different thought
You
process.
understand?
Yeah.
Thought process, characters, everything is
Characters,
different. Exactly. That's where you begin to love.
Yeah.
You begin to be unselfish.
Exactly.
Because we have a tendency to be self-centered and selfish, and then
Yeah.
suddenly everything needs to change.
Most of the time we are focused on so many of our things, all the other things,
yeah.
and we don't have that, we don't spend time for what the other person is looking
Exactly.
from my side, right?
Right. And
So
that is love.
that is love.
Now, in the beginning, we think attraction is love. Attraction is not love.
Yeah.
Love is when I begin to live the sake of the other.
Yeah.
When I begin to do things so that I can reduce her daily, efforts. How can I make her life better?
Yeah.
How can I will her good? By how can I become, a sacrifice wherever I can,
Yeah.
so that I can reduce. I can help her.
Yeah.
So that process of foregoing your own self and then becoming, useful to her, or becoming helpful to her,
Yeah.
is love.
True.
That's not easy.
That's not
That's
easy.
not easy.
And that is the reason why we can see a lot of divorces happening.
They are not willing to wait.
They're not
The
willing.
problem with these days is that if your marriage is not working out within the first week or 2 weeks, they are already in their mind, they are deciding this is not going to work out.
Yeah. Because the expectations are wrong.
Exactly. Yeah, the expectations are wrong. They're coming with a lot of expectations. They're thinking now, it's going to be heaven, it's going to be bed of roses, but then that's not the reality.
Yes.
The reality, but when you get into marriage, you should be ready to, for the worst, actually. You should be ready for the worst.
Yeah.
Because you're going to learn from each other. You're going to see a totally different scenario playing out at home. But then you should be open to change.
Yeah.
Okay? And then finding that common good in that family. Now, the moment you think you're good, there's going to be conflict. Moment the other person thinks her good, there's going to be conflict. Then the only resolution is now separate. Then try something else. No. Now here, once you've decided, I would say you get at least 4 chances to say no before marriage.
Yes.
When a proposal comes, you can say, no, this is not going to work out.
Yeah.
Okay, you said yes to the proposal. Then you go to see the person.
Yeah.
There you can say no.
Yes.
If you say yes there, engagement day, you can say no.
Yes.
There also you said yes. Then the marriage day, there you have a chance to say no.
Yeah.
There also you said yes.
Yes.
Yeah, and you've got all the time to say no.
Yeah.
You said yes. Now better live to that promise.
Exactly.
Because Jesus says, let your yes be yes and no be no. Don't say yes when your answer is no.
Yeah.
You understand? So there has to be a very clear decision.
Yeah.
Taken from the freedom of your mind, freedom of the heart.
Yeah.
So you cannot have an attachment before that in order for you to freely take that decision.
Yes.
And to stick to that decision even after marriage, even at the face of challenges.
Yeah.
Now that's what true, like you said, it's an academy.
It's an academy.
And God wants you to go through those challenges so that we become refined.
Of course.
In our love.
Otherwise, we'll be so self-centered. We look
Exactly.
for our own pleasures,
Exactly.
desires.
And we cannot become true lovers overnight.
Yes.
It'll take years and years of our,
Yeah.
what do you say, selfishness,
We have to unlearn a lot of things.
unlearn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think we should then talk about what are the factors that will help us to actually grow together in love when it comes to a family.
Yeah.
What can we say to the couples, if you do these things, this will help us to to grow in love.
Right.
Like I would say, the practice of praying together
Right.
as
Right.
as husband
Yeah.
and wife,
Yeah.
the practice of going to the mass,
Right. Yeah.
the practice of praying the rosary.
Right.
So those things.
Because we are we are talking in the context of attraction.
Yeah.
I want to start there.
Yeah.
First thing is to be fascinated
Yeah.
by the other person. That means for a man to fall in love with the body of your wife. Very important.
Yes.
Because you're thinking that, okay, I love her character. It doesn't matter how she looks. No, that for us it is both the same.
Yeah.
If you can't love the body of your wife, you won't be able to love that person. That's very important.
Yes.
Sometimes we miss that. So that is why, in Song of Songs, when the man talks about the woman, he describes every part of her body. Starting her hair is like how these goats jumping down the hills and coming down, the hair flutters like that. So everything becomes so attractive and beautiful to the husband. Similarly to the wife, everything about the husband becomes attractive and beautiful. See, you don't have to be attracted to your husband in the beginning for you to love. When you start loving that person, then you begin to understand that person. That understanding opens up the person in front of you. That's a mystery.
Yeah.
Then you begin to love everything about that person. Is a unique person. There is no other person like this. And that uniqueness is what you are falling in love with. Understand?
Yeah.
When you fall in love with that uniqueness of that person, everything else will fall in, because you're in the presence of the most treasured gift
That the Lord has given you.
given me. And I am a gift myself in front of the Lord.
Exactly.
This is the process. When I stand in front of the Lord, I am a precious gift. And what I have in front of me is a precious gift, unique, so beautiful a gift that God has given to me.
Yeah.
And the same thing, I am a gift to her too. And then just imagine, that is the basics.
Yeah.
When you have that then praying together, going things together, doing things together, then there's meaning
taking
to everything.
sacrifices.
Exactly. That sacrifice is no longer a sacrifice.
No longer sacrifice. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Good.
It says Jesus was most happy on the cross.
Yeah.
So we'll be most happy in the midst of challenges. I
Challenges.
guess. Yeah.
Since we talked about attachment,
Yeah.
we know that simply chatting to a person on a regular basis can lead to an attachment. So the
Right.
usage of social media comes to a crucial player here.
Right.
And we know that most of the teenagers they are into Instagram, Facebook, WhatsApp.
Right.
And since we have connectivity all across the time, how are you going to respond to that? How are you going
Exactly,
to
yeah.
deal with such situations?
I think it's a very important question, because I think 90% of the people will have their own laptops or phones, and they have access to a device, and it is with them throughout the night.
Yes.
And then what normally happens is that when I am not feeling well, I would just want to post on social media saying that this is what I'm going through.
Yeah.
And there'll be
status update.
my status, and there'll be hundreds of people who are looking for a bait like that, and then they'll definitely,
Jump
what
into it.
happened, but you're beautiful, what happened? Nobody, how can somebody say that? And then they become this savior to you, and then sometimes you think maybe it is after you've had a fight with your parents or something like that, but then that's when you feel, oh, this person is now understands me, and then you begin chatting, and then it becomes a hook.
Yeah.
An attachment. You've not even seen that person sometimes, That's another thing. See, girls have a particular capacity to, when a boy approaches her with an intention, a malicious intention, she can make out.
Yeah.
You understand? But with this online chat, you're not looking at the face of this person. They can fake it, understand. So you're not seeing. You're not seeing the face. So and you're taking a decision in blind decision. Understand. And you understand, and then they get into sometimes wrong ways of chatting, like sexting and exchanging pictures and stuff like that. And then once your pictures with them, then they can use you.
Yeah.
They can control you.
They can blackmail you.
And there are a lot of these apps that recently have come out. Even every local language has a dating app. And then there are apps like Clubhouse where they come and discuss and meet people, and then all this is now opening up gateways for wrong relationship, this one night stand and hookups and all that.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, people
used.
are used. Who wants to be used? But then yet we fall into this rut.
Yes.
Like moth to a light fire. We are attracted to this. But then I think, one thing that I want to tell my brothers and sisters is that this is a project of a lifetime. We should be extremely careful before we act upon our attractions and our passions.
As we end this show today, we would like to thank Jacob for helping us with this dimensions of how attraction plays in our life. We also know that attraction is a divine natural gift which God has intended for us so that we can become a gift to the other person, and it should be in the context of marriage. If you believe this talk is helping you, please help us to reach out to more people by sharing this video across in your circle. As we all know, we are from the Project Lily family. We have been so passionate about the teachings of John Paul II, especially on chastity, especially on theology of the body, to help us to share this good news with the people so that we believe this will really change the world and help people to grow in love and chastity. Thank you.